celebrating International Women's Day all hour long. And to help us out, we're welcoming the wonderful Jillian Reese from the Michigan History Center. Welcome into Studio 10.
Hi.
Hello, hello. We're super excited to have you here, especially since it's also Women History Month.
Yes.
And from your perspective, as a historian, why is it important that we have a Women's History Month?
Well, you learn about women all year long. You don't have to only do it in March.
Right.
But it's a good reminder to celebrate and learn the lessons that we can learn from women's struggle throughout history. Women's History Month is in the U.S. during March because of Women International History Day. And it's a great time to look at the past so that we can inform our future.
Right. And when it comes to Michigan's history, which you know quite a lot about, well, who stands out to you?
So the great thing about Michigan is ordinary women have been able to shape the history of their state. We are here in Lansing, which is the capital, and we've had great women in government who have really taken a lead, and it's important to celebrate them. But I also think it's a great lesson to learn that you don't have to have formal power in order to change your community. A few of those stories is the story of Delma Lopez, who saw that there was a need for Spanish language services in Lansing for the Latino community, and she was a founding member of Cristo Rey Church, which is still a cornerstone of Lansing's community. We also had one of the first women's colleges here, Michigan Female College. It started in 1855 when MSU and U of M would not admit women as students, and so offered them science and humanities training so they could be lawyers, doctors, educators.
Oh my gosh, see, I'm learning so much, and it's, well, we've been only talking about 2 minutes, so this is so fun, and it's just great to hear about women who've made those changes, and we are still learning from them and the impacts of them. So what about for you? What is it like to study women as a historian?
Well, I think, you know, I like to learn about history that hasn't been uncovered or told yet. And traditionally, women's stories haven't been told in history. So there's so much out there. If you're a student or someone who's interested in history, you don't have to be a formal historian like me. There's so much out there for you to learn, and the new issues and new movements, and it's very exciting.
Yes, definitely. And like as you mentioned, if people want to learn, so they can learn from the past and, you know, work forward towards the future, there are lots of opportunities over at the Michigan History Center. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that we'll learn about women if we stop by there.
So we have stories about women in all of our exhibits, but we have a few specific areas that you can really dive deep in women's history. One of them is our site in Concord, Michigan, which is actually about a 50-mile drive from Lansing. It's the Mann House, and it is telling the story of two sisters who were born in the late 1800s and really incredible for their generation. They traveled alone, they went to college, they were lifelong educators, and so you can learn more about their history. We also have recently taken in the collection from the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. It's about 2,000 artifacts related to all types of Michigan women's history, and we are currently actually fundraising through the Michigan History Foundation to get those items cataloged and preserved so that we can add them to our collections and our exhibits so everyone can learn about them.
I love that, and we keep up the amazing work doing that, because we love, obviously, the Michigan's Hall of Fame, Women's Hall of Fame. We've featured them a few times on our show as well. So thank you so much for all the hard work and teaching us in this past couple of minutes. You have the information on the screen right now if you want to visit as well and learn more about the women's history this month, not just, well, maybe not just in March, but
all year long.
All year long. So thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and speaking of wonderful women,